Mayor Cunningham. I'm a special education advocate. I own Special Education Academy to train everyone that sits at the 504 IEP table to navigate and negotiate successful student outcomes. So what we're doing out here is we're representing these families that are behind us that have been treated illegally by the school district. They are required to deliver special education minutes as listed on the special education service page. And I used to love this district, but Katy ISD is not giving the students that have special ed minutes a special education teacher. And it's a state requirement and it's a federal requirement. And so what Katy ISD is doing is they're putting paraprofessionals in the room for special education minutes. And it clearly says in this supplement from the Texas Education Agency working with paraprofessionals, it says very clearly that paraprofessionals are there to assist. And it says, paraprofessionals may provide services required by the student's IEP, an individualized education program, but they must do so under the supervision of a certified special educator. And so we sit in meetings with parents and we wear them out and we tell them that there's a special education teacher down the hall. And so I ask in the meetings for this family's little boy who's been in special education for 8 months, I said, who is the special education teacher that goes in and works with Ezra? And she said, a paraprofessional. I said, I'm going to ask you again, who's the special education teacher that works with Ezra? She goes, well, nobody. I don't go in there, okay? I give them a schedule and they follow my schedule. So this student is due over 700 minutes of special ed services every month, and he's never gotten 1 minute. That's a federal violation under 30156 in the federal code. OSEP, the Office of Special Education Programs, put out a letter 2 years ago to every state that said, listen, we know that you don't have special educators in all of the rooms, states, you have to do it. And then the state code is 89.1131, that you must have a special educator delivering the special education minutes. Can a paraprofessional deliver special education minutes? Absolutely. After the direct supervision of a certified special educator and under the continued watchful eye. And I've been in meetings with this district at the highest leadership, and they have said to me, we use the para model. I have it on a recording. They have said to me, we will decide who goes in those rooms. I think you guys just got a response back from TEA, and they said they will decide when parents go in a room and long-term subs. And it's unacceptable. You receive federal and state funds for special education students, then don't take the money. And don't look at these clients who are depending on these special ed services for their children to have a future. So October 29th, I was sitting in a meeting with Mr. Maiden, and I asked the staff 4 times, is there a special education teacher? We've already answered here. And we concluded, they said there's no special education teacher in the room, but that's fine with TTA. So the next morning, I filed with the Texas Education Agency. You have a copy of the complaint that was open. And the question is, it's just one simple question. Who is the special educator? And they dance and dance and dance around. And long-term subs, and Karen doesn't like substitute teachers, and Karen doesn't, this has nothing to do with me. I don't receive federal funds. I don't receive state funding. They do. They have an obligation to implement the IEP with fidelity. And I understand that people are out. I understand people have to be out for a while. We're not looking for perfection. We're looking for progress. But now we just straight lied to their face, and when they look at me and my parents who are back here, and half of them don't want to be seen because they'll be retaliated against, and they tell them in meetings, we're just going to have to agree to disagree. It's your understanding of the law. It's not my understanding. It's a legal requirement. So the laws are legal requirements, not options.
Yeah, it's fine. No, I'm good.
Yes, and they are investigating.
He might
We're
get
going to
loud.
open
That way they
every
can hear.
single
Got it.
that will let me partner with them and open them. We're going to get them open because this district, as you can just see, the attorney came and tried to threaten me. They don't want this known. They don't want this little blemish. Well, we don't have a blemish. I wouldn't be here if you were doing half of what you're supposed to do. But they're literally doing none. It's not some minutes. It's not part of the minutes. It's none. And these parents are here and they'll have to share their story. They went through the same ridiculousness with their first child. And they didn't assume that it was going to happen with the second child. And it is a beating for parents. And it's unacceptable.
Not everybody
No.
So talk to me about how the students are suffering as a result of
Yeah. So to be a special educator in any state, you first have to be a certified general education teacher, and then those persons go and take more training and more classes and have to pass an even higher test so that they can take general ed curriculum and specialize it for the students' unique circumstances. And so what are special ed services? It's not just academics, it's your ability to communicate, it's your ability to regulate, it's your ability to have good outcomes for behavior. These children, when you don't give them their special ed services, you're putting them into the prison pipeline. That's the truth. We have children that don't get special ed services that are illiterate in this very fancy school district, and it's unacceptable. And everybody in that admin building is culpable. There is nobody in there that does not know what's going on. I am the only one that's going to say something because I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of them coming up to me and threatening me. They can't fire me. We're just asking for the basics. We're not asking for extra basics. But you know what, Ezra? His year's gone. He's already lost a year. Do you think that they're going to call this family and say, sorry, we'll give you another year of special education? No, absolutely not. I want the Texas Education Agency, I want a full audit of this district, of their entire 504 plans and their special education programs. This is a district over 100,000 kids. And so so what happens is we teach kids that adults are liars. Because I meet with my kids and I say, these teachers are going to do it. They're going to help you, Billy. They're going to help you, Sally. And then finally, when the kids become 5th, 6th, and 7th grade, they're like, just forget it, Mom. Just forget it. They're not going to do what you said at the meeting. They're not going to do what Miss Karen said. Just forget it. Just stop calling them. And there's nothing unique about what I'm talking to you about. It's not just my families that I serve. Most families don't have an advocate. They don't have a voice. And if what you just saw happened to me in a parking lot with cameras, can you imagine what happens to these families in meetings that nobody oversees?
And which families? I know you said the families.
Yeah, so the Baines are
right
here.
on camera, right? So
The Baines are here.
Yeah, we're here. Okay.
So for the press conference, the people that don't want to be on camera stand.
Yeah, if you don't want to be on camera, you stand back there. But
Yeah, it doesn't bother us at all. Us, the
is
parents.
Randy here?
Rand.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Yep. Are you trying to push me? Is that what just happened? Look at all of this.
Y'all
Think about
want
the
to
hairspray
the
you
press
put in.
conference? Oh, okay. Did you want to go behind her?
I'm filming.
Oh, okay.
As soon as I get this one.
Yeah.
So this is the only family that's going to be here?
This is the only family that
Okay.
I know right now that wants to speak. There are other families that want to speak to you, but not
Oh, no, I didn't know if they wanted to come stand with you for the press conference.
Oh,
even if they don't want to speak.
yeah,
Even if they don't want to.
yeah. It's certainly up to them.
So, but Mr. Randy, are you going to speak at some point?
It'll probably just be me.
Okay. Let's turn off the loud. We gonna take our mics off? I'm just asking.
Yes? I want to have you. Ooh, you smell good. I'm not legally yelling at you.
We're gonna put this in the setting and contract.
Run off.
I've been run out of better parking lots.
Karen, you want me to stand up there just to have people?
Yeah, I do.
And then
You don't want to stand next to them.
I'll stand up.
Okay. Oh, you stand over there?
Yeah, I'll stand up.
Okay, yeah.
Certainly appreciate it. Okay. And then you didn't. I don't think that's right. I got you. And then you wanted to stand back here.
Hello, hello.
Okay, no worries. Because you don't have anything with it. It's kind of subjective.
Oh, my God. Serious? Serious?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Hey, you want your phone card?
Is that your DoorDash? Calling?
Well, here, let's move the light on the other side of you. Are we the only people here?
There, back in the back, there are.
Oh, here comes somebody with a camera.
Yeah, and there's one.
Oh, that's like telling them to move it.
Is this you all in the
Let
back?
me move the light over so he can come in. sorry.
It's okay. No. I get cameras wherever I go.
Say hi. Stay right
Ken
here.
Paxton has some marketing release thing.
We're gonna watch.
Oh, you got the. Sorry. These giveaways for me? What if I did a TikTok with them?
No, you just said it was the best.
Well, I mean, you know, he's good.
Is it too much trouble to have you come to the other side of here so we're like balanced? You want to just be on TV?
That's what I am. The real question is if my hair looks good. That's really We did a press conference in North Carolina. They made me stand in an easement in a ditch. And the police came twice, so I waved and they just kept driving. No? You don't? We're not going to do a photo? No?
Yeah, if there's any other parents, you do not have to talk if you don't want to. If you want to talk, please come. But if you don't, we would love for you to stand with us. So it's not just us. It's completely up to you. It doesn't matter if you are with Katy ISD or not. The more people, the
And
better.
just so that you guys know, we have people here from Dallas. We have people here from Austin. We have people here from Galveston. So, you know.
This is all over Texas. Thing. So,
It's all over Texas thing.
this is a.
Oh, look at that.
No pressure. All right.
You don't want to like prop it open?
You want me to hold it?
Just give them a little bit. Yeah. I don't know if it's long enough. You got a stick, Mike, you can put on that throwdown? No.
I know. I'm sorry I didn't know when the sun went down. I'll do better next time.
Thank you, appreciate that. Yeah.
Matches my outfit. It's fantastic. Should I take it? May I find the clip? It's like my first husband. It looks like it's going to work, but not.
All right. Yeah, you're in good shape.
Did you see how cool? You can't have a little fun while you're being put in the parking lot. You need to realize.
Everybody good? Yeah. All right, we're good. We're ready. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you all for coming. My name's Cunningham. I'm a special education advocate. I represent kiddos that have disabilities, and I represent their families in school meetings. These are the Badens. We have filed a state complaint with the Texas Education Agency. As Mr. Baden and I were in an IEP meeting in Katy ISD on October 29th, the school district reluctantly confirmed that this one special education teacher has never worked with a student. And I said, "Do you go into the room?" And she said, "I don't go into the room." Okay, but I give the para a schedule and they follow my schedule. So the law requires that special education minutes are delivered by special educators. In Texas, that statute's 89.1131. The problem is states are letting school districts oversee themselves, and unless people file effective legal state complaints, they don't get open and they don't get investigated. I loved this district. I sent everybody here for 14 years. I literally told them, if you're moving to Houston, you must move to Katy ISD. And something happened during COVID, and I understand that we have a teacher shortage. 20% of the families I serve are school-based members. But this district has gone to a blatant policy of deciding who they're going to put in the room, which is actually the response that they gave to the news stations. They will decide who goes in the room, they will decide who is the long-term sub, and they will decide who's the para. But you don't get to decide who's the special educator, whether you're in New York or Texas or California. It is a requirement under federal law 30156, and of course it's a requirement in Texas. But we literally sit in meetings and they tell us it's okay. It's okay. So their littlest child has been in special education since the fall of last year, and he was to receive over 700 minutes a week of special education minutes. He's received 0 minutes ever. And they don't seem to have a problem with it. I have a problem with it. And so I'm here to stand up for people that don't have a voice. This little 5-year-old boy deserves his special education minutes so he can be a successful young man and adult like all of our kids. This is an unbelievably well-funded district, and the arrogance that occurs in meetings to more families than you would ever know that are standing on that side of the camera. It happens in every campus, and I am not going to have it anymore. And if somebody has to be a voice, and for these kids, I'm happy to be that voice, because I'm not scared of them. I wasn't scared of them when they walked up in the parking lot and tried to threaten me. I'm scared of us sleeping at night knowing that we're robbing children. That scares me. And so, Randy, do you just want to share what happened in the meeting when we were talking about your son?
So, if you'd like to step up.
So in the meeting, Karen asked how many times, yes, I think 4 times, if he'd ever seen a special educator, and they denied it. And then towards the end of the meeting, we had a little separate conversation, and when we came back to the table, they were trying to circle back around, saying that somebody had been working.
Could you imagine having no idea who's educating your child? Having a child that can come home, he can communicate, mind you, but not appropriately to be able to tell you what's going on. And you have no idea what's going on in the classroom. It's scary. We have no idea what's going on. And they're just, the paperwork that's coming home, nothing's able to be able to tell us what's going on. We don't know who's dealing with him, who's helping him. And they're just lying to us. They're bold-faced lying to us.
And it's not a little bit. We will go around in circles and circles and circles, and they will tell me it's my understanding of the law. There's no understanding. It's the special education service page. You have to implement them by a special education teacher. So the state of Texas gives great guidance to school districts. So this is not, and people don't know, so this is working with paraprofessionals, a resource for educators who work with kids with disabilities. And on page 8, there's a list of non-negotiables. Non-negotiables. So parents cannot do this. And it says in here twice, a paraprofessional provides services required by a student's IEP, their individualized education program, but they must do so under the supervision of a certified special education teacher. So if you've never seen the student and you've never worked with the para, they call that supervision. I call that a violation. And so it's unacceptable. And for a year, this little boy's had behavioral needs and behavioral concerns. He was supposed to be getting special ed minutes for his behaviors, for him to be able to attend and complete and sustain something. And it's not, we've missed a couple of days, Miss Smith is out, Mr. Bob, it's not here. It never happened. And they literally will sit in the meetings, many of you know this, and they will talk your face off, and then we'll just have another meeting, and they don't do it. Do I believe and understand that there is a serious teacher shortage? Yes. But this district is putting certified teachers' certificates in compromise. They're compromising paraprofessionals, and they're putting them in situations that they're not trained for. But they continue to accept federal and state funds. You know what? Special ed kids are general ed kids. And I'm sorry that my kids may not be your school board meeting photo op, but they deserve equity and access, and this is unacceptable.
Let me ask you a question to the Badens. If you can maybe just give us a glimpse of what that feels like to know, based off of your complaint, that the child hasn't been receiving what you thought he would be receiving for a calendar year.
before the first part or first IEP meeting, we were getting documents home, but they weren't. It was like smiley faces and stuff. Like you could tell they hadn't even read his IEP.
No, they didn't understand him. We were getting notes that behaviors were starting to happen, and we're trying to assist them with those behaviors, but we're not getting any information home. We're requesting information, and we're getting smiley faces. We're getting no information whatsoever. Then we start asking questions. I don't even know who to ask questions to. We start asking more questions, and we just kind of get shoved to the side. We don't even know who the teacher is. And then, well, we have a long-term sub, but that's okay. But we can't talk to her because she's a long-term sub. None of this makes sense. Then we just keep getting passed around, and then we end up in meetings. It's lies. It's bold-faced lies, unfortunately. I'm so sorry. Okay.
It's okay.
Those district leaders are going to be seeing this tonight. So if you can speak to them directly, if you can ask them anything, what would you ask?
We're not asking for anything spectacular. We're not asking for them to do anything outside of the norm. We're asking to what's been agreed to. A free and appropriate education for our son.
I'm sorry. Can I stop right quick?
Absolutely.
It's covering you. We want to be received.
No, we want to be received.
Can you lower it or is
Yeah.
that the lowest it'll go? Does it go lower?
No.
Move it to the side.
It's gonna be side like that.
You can lean.
Sorry to get
No, you're fine. You only have 12,000 people watching.
Yeah, it's all right. Kind of used to it.
I know.
Hey, everybody. We're gonna make it work.
Let me.
Can you hit stop on my camera?
We'll figure it out.
You got it? Oh, I thought it was on the tips. No, I see the tip. You got it? Okay.
If we lean it that way, we'll spin the microphone.
Yeah.
The opposite.
Yeah, that way
I think he's gonna get a bag, sandbag.
Sandbag.
Something else.
Something to weight.
Yeah, he's gonna rig it some kind of way.
You know, he's probably gonna get a weight.
Yeah, he's gonna rig it. Yeah, no worries.
So we need you to talk real so spill everything.
Stop being nice. We're not at church. We're at quick parking lot church.
We'll make it work.
Don't be nice. Be clear.
Sorry,
No pressure, no. Thanks. Yeah. I'll help you as much as I can. All right, now ask me that again. Set me up again.
Yeah, sure.
You want to ask her the question?
Yeah, sure, I can do that. You know, I was saying that the district leaders are going to be watching all these newscasts tonight, and they're going to hear your statement. So, you know, since you haven't been getting a lot of clear answers from them, and you haven't gotten a lot of response, if you could talk to them directly, what would you ask them today?
We're not asking for anything spectacular. We're just asking for what we feel is fair, a free and appropriate education for our son. We want him to be able to be successful in the community, and for him to be able to do that, we need to make sure that there are appropriate educators in the classroom.
Could you kind of give us some insight on the type of challenges that your son deals with?
Well, right now, we just want someone that knows what we believe that there might be some other challenges that might be going on with our son. That a general ed teacher may not be able to clue in on.
Got it.
We're not sure.
Okay.
Our older son has some profound things that were going on that some early educators were able to catch.
Okay.
And so with our younger son, we want the people that have more knowledge about these kind of things to be able to maybe look into that for us. We don't know. We don't. And I don't want to wait for my son to be multiple years behind for him to have the right people to go, oh, wait a minute, we should have implemented this many years ago for him to be more successful. There's this no child left behind policy. Why is that not acceptable for my son? I don't want him to be behind for them to go, wait a minute, let's implement this. He needs to be taken care of now.
Thank you.
What was your first and last name? Please spell that, please.
Sure, it's CASSI. The last name is Baden, BADEN.
How long have y'all been in this district?
Actually, my older son, 8 years, and now we've been with my younger son 2 years. Unfortunately, this isn't the first time that we've had to turn to TEA for assistance as well. So, this is our first formal complaint, but it's not the first time that we've had to go around Katy ISD to get assistance to find out what the real truth is.
And why now with the formal complaint you just got hired?
Never such egregious lies. Before, when we've had issues, we've been able to say, hey, this isn't right, and they're, oh, well, let me go back and let's clarify that, let's fix this.
Yeah.
But now we're talking over a year, possibly. I mean, there's just no excuse. Absolutely no excuse.
And it's not just happening to her child at that campus. Every child at that elementary school, that's the same model. You have a case manager who's overseeing the special education paperwork, and she probably has 30, 40, 50 kiddos at an elementary school. She's the special education person going to IEP meetings and doing paperwork. So I would allege that it's happening to every child at that elementary school. This is not happening in a vacuum. We have another family here, Robin. Do you want to share? She's another family that we work with, that we have an upcoming complaint with the district. And can you share them with your story? Sure, of course.
Can you move over to? Yeah, no, stay right there. There's no light on her.
So we've been in the district for about 10 years. I have twin boys. They started off at Creech Elementary and were in the special education, started receiving special education services at about 3rd grade. Being young, I didn't know what I know now. And so as the years have gone by,
and
a lot
DPS.
of IEP accommodations were not being implemented, and it made me aware of a lot more things. And I hooped and hollered to assistant principal, district, and a lot of the things that was going on in the classroom was non-implementation of the IEP, which then became a huge ripple effect, obviously, to my twins. And so, started off at Creech, said it was going to get better at junior high level, promising rainbows and butterflies. It's not me, it's my kids. And so, at the junior high level, at Beck Junior High, we basically endured the same thing. Non-implementation of the IEP, it actually got worse, kind of very similar to them, where there were not any special ed certified teachers in their classroom. Or there was a long-term sub in there that, of course, wasn't special ed certified. So all of this was brought even to the district's attention, and a lot of it's just being kind of brushed under the rug. They are now in high school. They're at Cinco Ranch High School. Same thing. And so I have filed an OCR report with Karen, as well as a TA report as well, and we're well on our way to filing another one. So at the end of the day, we just want to get it right for the kids. This has gone on for too long, and it's not just us. There's so many parents out there like us who are trying our best as parents to advocate as well as we can for our kids. And so at the end of the day, we just want to get it right for the kids. We get it right for the kids, we get it right for everyone. Yeah.
Can you spell your name, please?
Robin, R-O-B-Y-N, Ramos, R-A-M-O-S.
Thank you, Rob.
You guys have been going through this a lot lately. So are you more, and excuse my language, sorry, buddy. Are you more emotional going to pissed off, or are you pissed off going to emotions?
I think in every art meeting, obviously you go into it with a lot of emotion because you want to get it right for your child. And there have been many times where I have, in the middle of an art meeting, broke down because I'm so emotional because I see my kids struggling with this every single year. And just like you said, you have some, her child is in elementary and she doesn't want her child to fall behind. Guess what? my kids have already fallen behind. And so you go from waves of emotions. So you go from the crying to the angry to the pissed off to now it's like, get it right, or now we're here.
And I would like to say, all of these families and the other families behind me, and there's lots of amazing advocates, all of these people are very articulate. I didn't show up because things were great. They had all already reached out to the superintendent, to the special education director, to the coordinator, to the principals. This did not happen in a vacuum. This is 8 years with us. This is 4 years with us. I am not the common denominator. The district's patterns, processes, and pathologies are ridiculous. And if they cared about special ed kids the way they care about other things, then we would all have equity and access. And it's unacceptable that we've had special ed laws for 49 years and that they just sit and lie to people. I'm being nice. Lie to people. And it's you're robbing children. They receive state and federal funding for these kids.
Yeah, go around. Yeah, there's that one.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah, so this district, like every other district in America, receives state and federal funding for special education students. And so this is not a money issue. This is not a money issue. This district, like every other district in America, has money. It's about where we spend that money and where is it appropriate. Instead of sending out your attorney at $6.50 an hour to threaten us, why don't you put in reading programs? Why don't you put in behavior programs? Why don't you hire quality people who want to work with kids? Why don't you make a work environment that teachers want to stay in? That's not a me issue. That's a culture issue. That's a problem at the district level. And so this, we don't know anything about it, is ridiculous. So we want the Texas Education Agency to come in and do a full audit and stop this. Because it stresses out the teachers, it stretches out the long-term subs, it stresses out the paras, and it's unacceptable. But most people would do one of two things. Either they would go away and believe the lies, or they would go away and spend more money that they don't have to get kids services outside of a school day. And both of them are unacceptable. It's America. This is Katy Independent School District. It's got to stop. And we will file till change comes.
You mentioned...
What's the lawyer? Right.
His name is Justin Graham. He is lead counsel for the Katy Independent School District. We just filmed it. He just came over here and threatened me in the parking lot and was standing over me telling me to leave. And it was illegal for me to be here.
You mentioned last night the importance of helping the children develop a strategy to deal with their learn how to cope with their own disability.
Yeah, so in special ed we have one job, and that is to teach a child a strategy to help them self-manage their disability, whether that's communicative, whether that's emotions, whether that's academics, whether that's functional. And so that special educator has the certification to specialize those skills. And we love paras, we love long-term subs. They're wonderful men and women, but they don't have specialized training. So they're not able yet to be those persons. So provide us as special education teachers, and at least be integrous enough to tell the truth. At least do what some other districts in Texas do and say, hey, ABC School District, we are missing a speech pathologist and we wanted to let you know. But they're not even doing that.
Last question, or at least for me, did you expect to have a press conference? You've been advocating for families for years, it seems, behind the scenes and having meetings, and now bringing it to the table for more people to find out about this. Did you expect it to come to this, and why did you decide this is the time?
So I've been doing press conferences. We've been doing them for years. Theo's been to about all 5 states with me. So unfortunately, kids with disabilities don't have a voice. It's the highest population of divorce. That's 88% of parents with a child with a disability get divorced. We're not a tight-knit community because we're trying to get through Thursday, right? And if I have to be the voice for them, I'm happy to be the voice for them. When I tell you I have begged the school district to stop this for 4 years, on everything that I have begged them to stop. Every single person in that building. And they just won't. And so the only person that's going to make them stop is a federal complaint with the U.S. Department of Education, Office of Civil Rights, and state complaints that are opened correctly with the correct procedural violation that's noted by statute and code. And I can do that. And And we're happy to come back for as many press conferences as possible because these kids deserve a free and appropriate public education. It's a benefit of being an American. And we pay way too many taxes to deny them what you're receiving funding for.
When your child goes to school, just gonna say, you know, when your child goes to school, you want to feel like you can trust the school district to make sure that they're, like you talked about, following the IEP and that they have trained staff that knows how to modify curriculum. Kind of going back to my boys, they're in 9th grade and the entire English curriculum is not being modified for one of them. And so that's a huge problem. And the problem is the staff doesn't know how. And so that answer is not acceptable. And so we're here as, you know, as a voice for our kids, for them to shed light on this and awareness because our kids deserve it.
Absolutely. No. And you would never think if you didn't sit in this space, because all of us will be helping someone with a disability one day. It'll be somebody elderly. And the ridiculousness that you go to for get them help, there shouldn't be any ridiculousness for kids between the ages of 3 and 22 that go to a public school in America to get their special ed services. And every family that I've met in 28 years, when we do events, and we do events nationwide, parents walk up to us at our tables and they say this: it's a fight. It is a fight. And you know what? I'm here to fight with these parents, and it's going to stop. It's going to stop in this district. It's going to stop.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you guys.
Thank
Appreciate
you guys
you
for
making
giving
yourself available.
them a voice.
Sharing your story.
Sure.
Our oldest 11 and the baby is 5. 11 and 5. Yes.
And the one affected by the situation was
He's 5. Okay. No, Karen's battled for both.
thank you.
And then
Cool.
how old is your daughter? I have twins. Twins are 14 and they're in 9th grade. We really appreciate you guys' time and effort. We really do.
Thank you.
That's the only way things are going to change is the more people hear about this. I just don't want more families affected.
I'm a former teacher in Katy ISD.
You want to come over here? Justin, right here.
I know Justin, the attorney. I'm a former teacher at Katy ISD. I am a sped teacher, and I know that in Bear Creek Elementary School, they put substitute, long-term sub, or constantly substitute every day dealing with special ed students. And there's no documentation, there's nothing at all. And these kids do not get the documentation, but they do get the money. I am a former teacher. Thank you. And I know that for a fact.
You tell us your name, man.
My name is Marilyn Horn,
And how do you spell that?
H-U-O-N, at Bear Creek Elementary School. They consistently doing that, and they're doing with long-term sub or daily sub.
Wow. Did you ever bring it?
Marilyn?
Marilyn.
Marilyn. How do you spell it?
M-A-R-I-L-Y-N, H-U-O-N. And yes, I did bring it, and that's why I said I knew Justin.
Yeah.
Because I did bring it to them. They tried to get rid of me.
Yeah.
Wow.
See,
Thank you for coming.
I've been here for 18 years. Special ed is a small world. There's lots of people that still work in these buildings, and they'll get fired if they say anything. These are amazing teachers and paraprofessionals that bring concerns to their principals, and they tell them, shh, we're not going to talk about that. They tell them, listen, when we go in an IEP meeting with the Badens, don't say anything.
They have padded room at Bear Creek for the kids that's screaming and doing all kinds of stuff, and they actually take them and put in the padded room and let them just go wild. And I'm like, this is uncalled for. You know, TA needs this to know this stuff, but they keep it hush hush. And that's why people like me, they try to get rid, because we know too much.
Is that what motivated you to come here tonight?
Yes, sir. Yes, because I felt because they're still doing that, they're still having long-term sub. Instead of having a certified teacher, they go ahead and put long-term sub for paraprofessional, doing the documentation and sending the information to a special ed teacher or special ed team leader to do all the work.
Signs off on it.
Yes.
Yeah, they literally have paras meet with the special education teacher, and they do paperwork together. Guess what these kids aren't? Paperwork. This is a human being, and it is disgusting, and it needs to be exposed. And whatever hit that takes for us, we're fine. But this stops in Katy ISD.
Not for my babies.
Thank y'all. Thank you. Thank you.
I think Justin's taking us out to dinner.
We could ask his friends that are still over there.
Oh, he's still here?
His friends are.
Bring it, man. Oh, bring it.
Is it my hairdo that recoils the police? Is that what it is? No.
Okay.
Are we still live?
We are still live.
Yeah,
Do
so
you
we
want?
just want to say we're thankful for everybody that reached out. If you have a concern, we're trying to get a systemic complaint open with the state, which means we need around 5 to 10 families. If you'll just email us at advocate@specialeducationacademy.com, we will get the paperwork sent to the state for you so that the state comes here and audits this district from the top to the bottom for special education violations.
How do I stop the live?
Oh,
Is that it?
yes.
Yeah, somebody.
TikTok live.
Yeah, she was on.
TikTok.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook on this one.